congressman or representative, you were...
I was in the private
business?
sector. I had my own small businesses, and then in 1994 I was asked by my father to come home from the States while I was doing my master's to help in the family business, and I ran it from 94 till I ran in 1998. So for about 4.5 years I was running Jaka Investments Corporation.
Okay, so now you're into politics.
Now in the last 12 years I've been in politics.
How was the shift?
Very-
Calling the first years of your...
Very difficult. In fact, there was. If you had told me 15 years ago, this was around 1996. If you had told me 15 years ago that today, 2011, I would have been elected 4 times in the House of Representatives, I would have called you crazy. There was really no intention to enter politics at all at the time. But I guess the opportunity presented itself late in '97, and well, the rest is history.
You know, sir, I think there's a lot of misconception really in this country about what being a congressman really is. Congressman, quote unquote, really, because the proper term really is representative. Okay, so we have a House of Representatives, and you're one of the representatives.
Yes.
Many people think that if you're a congressman, you're like a senator or a president, you can do whatever you want, maybe.
Right.
But really, what does it entail?
Well, basically, the aspect of the job that I really enjoy is basically the constituency work. Legislation tends to be tedious. Legislation really is a very slow process. When you have 280 or so different individuals with different agendas, it's very difficult to come to some sort of a cohesive, comprehensive plan. So people must understand that the work of a congressman really is he's multitasking. He deals with legislative work. He deals with basically research also. He has to study a lot, and then he has to basically deal with the concerns of his constituencies. You know, as it stands now, a congressman basically represents a district with about 150 to 250 voters. So it's unlike a senator that is elected nationwide. We are elected by a very small fraction of the electorate.
From what I know, Congressman, usually the offices of our members of Congress are structured this way, at least internally. You have someone that handles your constituency, you have an office that handles legislative, the legis they call it, and then you have a political guy who manages maybe networking and all that, especially during elections when you prepare for it and everything.
And it evolves over time.
And it evolves over time. And you are emphasizing constituency building or addressing concerns of your constituency. What does that mean exactly down the road?
Well, basically it's hands-on. I think I'm one of the few congressmen that actually throws out his cell phone number out there to his constituents. And normally when I'm up at 4:30 in the morning before I go for my bike ride, I have about 10 or 15 text messages already from unidentified constituents. With their own personal little concerns, and obviously, you know, the most important concern for a constituent is his own. So you must treat the concerns of each and every constituent as the most important aspect of your work, and that gets difficult. You cannot help everybody, but you do your best to address at least their concerns and look for a solution to the problems.
Maybe to give our listeners a better picture of things, could you relate to us maybe?
A typical day would be the moment I wake up, I'm already answering, while I'm having my first cup of coffee, I'm already answering the text messages that have been sent the night before. I'm now texting or emailing instructions to my staff as far as those particular concerns are concerned. And then perhaps normally now there may be some opportunity to speak on the radio, either a phone patch or a station visit such as yourself, but that normally happens early in the morning between 6:30 to 8. And then I have meetings, a series of meetings in the morning, perhaps a lunch meeting with somebody else. Then I prepare to go to a committee or to go to Congress in the afternoons. And once you put on your Sunday bests, and you walk into the plenary, you start shaking hands with some of your fellow congressmen, and after the pambansang awit or the invocation and the roll call, you share some of your daily events with your congressman, and then surprisingly the session becomes adjourned all of a sudden. So you go home. You spend the next 2 hours fighting through traffic going back home.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people even go to your office in Congress to
every day
ask for things.
If they ask for things, it's not a very big
How do
thing.
you handle those? I think that's one of the most difficult things. I know a lot of people go there to ask for sometimes assistance in health benefits or hospitalization.
Well, part of our PDAC we allocate for field health. Part of the PDAC we allocate for scholarships. Of course, the hard what they call the infrastructure projects are basically under the purview of the DPWH.
And this is what people call the pork barrel.
The pork barrel.
The pork barrel.
Pork barrel. Well, that is the system that we have today. And unless everybody agrees not to abolish it, basically we have to work with that. But we do our best. By and large, most of the congressmen I know, by and large, they really put everything into their districts. They're very, very careful and to ensure that the projects that they bring forth for their constituents have impact.
Okay, and speaking of projects and maybe policy concerns, we'll go back to those things later. We'll take a break now.